Hey everybody, it's Natalie with Treasures and Mini, and this is our second Halloween card video. And again, I'm going to do the no stamping, and I'm going to use those elements that I showed you in my last video that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I am going to stamp the Happy Halloween because I had the stamp, but you could easily write it with a black pen. So I had some tags that I think I'd gotten from Target in their little dollar spot or whatever it's called, and they were the same size, but I cut the craft one down to where I could have a border with the black one. And I'm going to use a craft card base. I think this also came in a little set of blank note cards from Target as well. I'm going to use this piece of pattern paper that I actually got out of the pattern pack from Doodlebug that I used last year. Again, remember, I don't do a lot of Halloween cards, so I don't buy a lot of stuff. And this is going to set on flat on top of our card base like this. Then on a black piece of cardstock, I created this background using washi tape and ribbon. And I'm going to show you how I did that and what I used. So these also came from Target in their little section. They were $1. I used the sequins and that ribbon. And then I also used this ribbon that I showed you in our last video that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. And I used washi tape. Now, the washi tape that I used, I did not buy any washi tape this year. This is all washi tape that either, like the green and the purple, that just happened to match the theme, or that I've already had for several years, most likely. So I'm going to show you how I attached the ribbon. I used double-sided sticky tape right here, and I actually cut a small piece so that I could show you. I put it on the back. I run my finger over it really good to burnish it in, and then when you peel the backing off, it's there and ready to use. So to get this perfect diagonal, I start on one side of the corners. So on my ribbon, I did on this side of each corner and folded it around. And then I came back with the washi tape, and I did it on the opposite side of the corner and made it match. Then you just work your way out, up and down, however you want. And that way you'll get that perfect diagonal. So now I want to use some Distress Oxides. I'm going to use that first one, and then the Spiced Marmalade and some Fossilized Amber. I'm also going to use this white Picket Fence, which is not a oxide ink, but I'm going to use the black soot. So this didn't actually come out the way I'd intended, but I wanted to do a light edging around my card base, and I'm using this piece of washi tape just to kind of mask off the back of my card. I'm going to get out my black soot and a blending sponge. You can see here, and this is where it messed up. There was way more ink on there than I had intended. I did want to be able to see the craft card base, but since that wasn't happening, I just went with it and just kept going around and got a nice layer of the black soot on there. Again, not what I intended to do, but since it is an oxide ink, I decided to spray it with some water and let that sit for just a second and then blot it up. And you can see here in the close-up that nice oxide white that you get with the oxide inks. So since it's black, I decided to try to go around the edge of my pattern piece with the Picket Fence to kind of break up the black and black from the card base to this. And you can see this is what it's going to look like. And it's okay. It's not what I had in my head, but it looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Tombow Mono Multi-Glue, the glue I always use, and I'm going to attach this panel to my card base. And then once I have that done, we can go ahead and attach our background piece that we made with ribbon and washi tape. So yeah, this is the piece, and I have to admit, I still don't have everything unpacked, so I could not find my foam tape. So I'm going to use a ton of these foam squares, which really was painful because I felt like I was wasting a lot of them, but you do what you got to do. So I'm going to center that as best as I can on my card base and press it down really good. And it's just adorable. I love it. Again, I would use foam tape though. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on the tags for the front of our card. Oops, I almost made a mistake. I want to go around the edge of the black tag. If you can see, it's white, and I wanted it to match the tag. So with that black soot blending sponge, blah, 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 sorry, I went around the edges. And then with my Twisted Citron, I am going to just randomly put some color around this tag. And it started out working beautifully. And you can see it's really bright and it looks pretty. But again, I messed it up. There's a lot of trial and error with this card, guys. I decided to just put in all of my fumbles and messes and everything for you guys to see. So now I'm going around with the fossilized amber. And you can see it's bright, it's pretty, I love it. And then I decided to stick my finger in it and smudge it because it wasn't dry. So I went on and did it with everything all the way around. I'm putting this one on here. I'm not in love with it, but I figured I would go ahead and work on the craft tag and see if I change my mind afterwards. So again, with the picket fence, I'm going to go around the edge of the craft tag. And again, these tags were the same size. I just cut the craft one down. And I do not like this. It's very dull and it's not bright anymore. So I have an idea. It just hit me. Jelly roll pins. So I'm going to do some doodling around the edge of the black tag, which leads to another problem, but we'll get there in a minute. I really like how bright this is. If you see that orange pen up there, I couldn't get my orange pen to work, and I just really didn't want to fiddle with it anymore. So I'm going on with the yellow and the green, and I end up using white instead of the orange, which, I mean, it's still pretty, but the orange really would have been pretty on there. But I get that orange in on the craft tag, you'll see. So I'm doing my white one here, and about now I'm starting to realize that I might have another problem, and you're fixing to see it. It's covered up by the craft tag. But that's okay. I just go over to my paper trimmer and I cut the craft one down a little more, and you can see here it works. I'm liking it. But since I doodled on the black one, I decided to take my black pen and do a little doodling on the craft tag to kind of make it match. I'm just going to do something in these two bottom corners. I don't go all the way around it. I figured it'd be a little too much. I'm just doing some little circles. And then I still wanted that orange in there. So I took the spiced marmalade and I went around the edge. Since I had mostly cut off the white already, I went around the edge of my craft tag. And now I actually do like this. And so I'm going to go ahead with some Tombow and glue those together. This was a tag in the making. Ha ha. So this is what it's going to look like on the front of my card, and I just want to kind of lay my bat here and see where I would want my stamping. Again, you could take a black pen and write Happy Halloween on there, but with my black soot oxide ink, which this stuff stamps perfect every time. I love the oxide inks for just regular stamping as well. I am going to go ahead and stamp the Happy Halloween. And then if you'll notice, my tag holes didn't match up. So I'm going to take this tool, which I cannot remember the name of for the life of me right now, but it punches holes, 2 different sizes, and it sets little eyelets. So I decided, since I had it out, I'd go ahead and put a silver eyelet in it, and I will find out the name of this tool and put it on the screen at the bottom. I don't know why I can't remember it. But I love this thing. It's by We Are Memory Keepers. And you can see it put a little silver eyelet there. So then I decided to take some twine, which also came from Target, and I'm going to wrap a long piece twice. I'm going to fold it twice and then feed it through the little hole. And that means that I will have 2 loops. You can see here 2 loops to pull through on the other side. And when you get it pulled through and tightened, you'll see you have 1 loop that you have to clip with the scissors. And this way you get 4 little strings at the top, and you only had to do it once. And then with my poker tool, I'm going to go ahead and separate the little twisties of the 2 colors. I just like to do that because it makes it look fuller. And I'm going to go ahead and attach my bat. I'm going to peel the sticky back off of him. This is that pack that I showed you in my last video of stuff that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I just think he's so cute, his little googly eyes. And again, with my precious little foam squares that I'm using the heck out of, I'm going to attach my tag to the front of my card. And that is almost it. I did decide to add a little sparkle. So if you'll recall in my last video, I had gotten lots of little gem Halloween packs and these cool little sequin packs for decorating pumpkins that already have adhesive on the back, which I'm in love with. I decided to give my tags some sparkle and just put a few sequins and the stars. And then I also grabbed from my own stash some little clear rhinestones that are sticky backed, and I put a couple of those on there too. I just felt like it needed just one more little touch of a little bling bling. And then my last touch is with my clear jelly roll pen. I do this all the time. I go over the wording of Happy Halloween and over those little dots that I added to the corner. This dries very shiny and kind of raised, so it almost looks like you heat embossed it without heat embossing. And that is the card for today. I think it is absolutely adorable. It is very, very busy, but then, I mean, that's what Halloween's all about. Lots of bright colors and fun and just all kinds of good stuff. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a thumbs up and click on the bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a video. I do almost have my craft room put together. I had promised a giveaway of a Misty stamping tool when I reached 1,000 subscribers. Only I reached 1,000 subscribers while we were moving, so I was not able to do that. And I still haven't found it to unpack it yet, but that will be coming soon, I promise. So remember, you can find me on Facebook at Treasures of Minnie Craft Corner, Instagram at Treasures of Minnie, and until next time, hugs and loves from my craft room to yours. Bye.